This is Glendon Cameron with the American Hustler Podcast. This is the 8th episode. This thing is moving right along. What I am going to discuss today is eradicating and killing the poverty mindset. But before we jump into that, I should give you a warning. If you are weak, mentally unstable, and a scared little bitch of life, you may not want to listen to this podcast because it will offend your little scared bitch sensibilities. And with that, to the show. When you speak of poverty, images come to mind. Ghettos, people poorly dressed, people hungry, starving, can't find a job, just fiscally out. When I speak of poverty, I speak of the worst poverty of all, mental poverty. Regardless of the resources, the help that you have in your life, if you have mental poverty, your life will not be that good, regardless of your intellect or anything else that's good in your life, because you're operating from a posture of lack. You're moving forward thinking that you're going to be slapped back by life at every twist and turn. Some people think this is pragmatic to be this way, always saving for a rainy day. Here's a bit of advice for you. Never, ever use that term in your life. Start saving for a sunny day. Start saving for a great day. Start saving for a wonderful day. You pre-program your mind for bullshit when you say things like that. That is part of the poverty mindset. When you're living in a poverty mindset, you really just don't get how great your life could be. Because one thing about us as humans, we crave control. We like comfort and security, and we want things to be normal, predictable. But those same very elements will crush your life. You have to learn to be open, and that's part of the abundant mindset. When you have the poverty mindset, you look at each situation as how it can harm you, with more clarity, more perception, and more angst than you look at how the situation may improve your life. In 2009, July 17th, I made a decision to become a writer and publish a book. I did not really do a great deal of research. I said, you know what? This is the third time that I've tried this. I gave myself 2 years to make it work. The first year, I had to get to a livable income. And the second year, I had to really push it. Both things were successful. Now, I'm going to explain to you why they were successful, in spite of the fact that I made several massive mistakes in the world of publishing. See, this is the abundant mindset. When you think abundantly, when you think that things are, you don't think that things are just going to go okay. You think you can make things go okay, because with the abundant mindset, what you currently don't have, you feel you can get because it's out there. With the poverty mindset, you feel that what you have is all that you're going to get, and you try to be very judicious in how you use it or share it, or in most cases, not share it. So I was going along and I was writing books, and the first book, it was just an accomplishment to get that first book done. It wasn't pretty. It had this stanky green cover, but I was really proud of it because I set out a goal and I finished it, and the book was done. Aside from some editing and typos, the content was golden for the time. The content that I wrote back there in 2009 was excellent. There was nothing like it on the market. And the book did very well in spite of its flaws. But the abundant mindset allowed me to put that book out and deal with the critical feedback that came, which was deserved. The truth was told. But the content was so good, it got me over. That people who bought that first jacked up book bought the second one and the third and the fourth and the fifth, because the content was golden. And I keep saying the content because when you have the abundant mindset, there's more to it than just surface issues. When you have the poverty mindset, if I had the poverty mindset, that book would have never come out. I would have sat in the basement grooming and working and twisting and ingratiating myself into a pretzel, trying to make it perfect for an audience that I didn't know nor understood. But because of the abundant mindset, I put it out there and I got feedback that actually helped me write 2 other books I had no intention of writing. When you have the abundant mindset versus the poverty mindset, you can grow beauty, wealth, and good things out of disaster. That's the power of the abundant mindset. But with the poverty mindset, it's always about holding back. When you have the poverty mindset, the big thing is not to expose yourself, not to put too much out there. A great area that you see the poverty mindset rolling its ugly head daily is in personal relationships between men and women. You see people saying, I'm not going to give too much, but they expect the world. Well, I'm trying to protect myself, but they want the most from the other person. So you have a situation where you have someone who wants to be loved, but they refuse to give love. Love is a mirror. Love is a renewable energy. What you give out, you can get back. I will not say just give your love to anyone, because if you give your love to an empty vessel, they will suck you dry. It has to be another mirror. And you see it daily. I'm a child of the 70s. I'm a child of waking up in the morning, listening to the radio, hearing songs of men saying, I love you so much. This was a daily event. Beautiful songs. Sunday morning, reading the Sunday newspaper, listening to Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman. That's what I grew up with. Men expressing love for women. Now we have a state of emotional poverty on both sides because material things are important. Having wealth is important. And it has replaced, due to the poverty mindset, the emotional wealth that love can generate. It is very endemic of our society. And another area where the poverty mindset really rears its ugly head. I mean, ugly. Ugly, 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 ugly. It's so ugly I can't even look at it sometimes, is in the world of entrepreneurship. You cannot say you want to be an entrepreneur and you are a scared little bitch. Let me make sure that you understand me. When I wrote my first book and I put it out, I was scared. I was terrified. I could not sleep the night before it was to appear on Amazon. It was a mixture of excitement. It was a mixture of worry. I did not know if my information was going to be well received because it was new territory. Being scared is not the problem. Being a scared little bitch is the problem, because the little and the bitch will keep you from moving forward. That's the problem. It's not being scared. Scared is a natural emotion. Fear is a natural emotion. But when you allow the little bitch in you to keep you from moving forward, from daring to do something different, from taking a chance, there's plenty wrong with that. There's a great deal wrong with that. It can change your life if you go out on a limb. I started at this juncture, I'm up to 10 businesses. The first four were abject failures, just straight up. The fifth one, I kind of learned some things and broke even. And business number 6 through 10 have been profitable. And the reason is I never gave up. You can't allow failure to impede your progress on becoming the person you want to be. You will fail. You will make mistakes. You will look bad. People will talk about you. They will laugh and point. And you got to deal with it. You have to deal with it. You have to become emotionally strong, because if you're living on the precipice of the poverty mindset, you are slowly dying each and every day, because time is not a renewable resource. Tuesday, May 1st, 2013 is only going to come once. There'll be another Tuesday in May 2013, but it won't be the first one. It'll be the second one. And after that one's gone, it'll be the third. It does not renew. You just get more due to the fact that you're still alive. So you want to do as much as you can with the days that you have. Once you've identified that you are a scared little bitch, and it's a cliche, but the first step is identification and acceptance of a problem to solving that problem. There are many people that feel that they are brave because they are sassy and brassy and brazen, and they will get you told. That is fear. That is the projection of fear. Some of the most courageous people in the world don't say a word. They just do. If you want to become a abundant mindset warrior, you have to make a few changes in your life. The first one is going to be the most damning. You have to stop allowing fear to hold you back. And fear doesn't have to be this big monumental thing or task. It could be something as simple as going to a neighborhood that you've never gone to before. It could be something as simple, if you are a black person, going to a white person's house for dinner. I know it is 2013 and some people that just heard that are laughing, but I have friends who've never done it. They will not. There are people who refuse to mix with other people because of their fears. There's this preconceived notion that there's something funky and bad's going to happen. I have had the privilege of having white roommates in the military and school. I've gone to a bar mitzvah. I've gone to a wedding that was attended mostly by white people. And the funny thing that has happened is, in none of those situations did anything bad, crazy, or off the wall happen, because we're going forward in a world of integration. If you do not know how to mix with other people from other backgrounds, whether it's around the corner or around the world, you will be at a disadvantage. Being insular is not going to protect you. It will damn you. Taking those steps to expand your life will improve your life. Because when you sit down at 10 p.m. at night in a little room as you study with a Jewish roommate, his name was Derek Shop, he was telling me about his life. And in many regards, it was not far removed from my life. It was just, he was a little Jewish kid that got a bar mitzvah and got some money. I was a little black kid. There was no bar mitzvah. There was no money. But oddly enough, our lives had a very similar parallel. I would put them at maybe 80%. It was very similar. Then that's one of the reasons that we got along so well. Another way to kill the poverty mindset is to create a big, bold list of things you want to do. Some people call this a bucket list. I call this a do list. It's like, well, yeah, I want to do that before I die. Forget about dying. Start thinking about living. I want to do this while I'm living. And instead of later, make it sooner. Put together a list of everything that you want to do. Everything. I'm talking the kitchen sink. I'm talking the moon and the stars. Put that list together. After you have it together, for some it's going to be short and for some it's going to be pages long. Once you get it together, you prioritize. What is the most important thing on this list? What is it for you? What is it for you? What's the most important thing? Then you take action. Once you identified the most important things, you rank them in numerical order. The number one most important thing is number 1. Then number 2, then number 3, then number 4. Then you take number 1 and you sit down and you conceive a plan on how to achieve it. If it's a trip around the world and you think it's daunting, go to the internet and Google blogs about trips around the world. So many people have figured out, and they're not rich, they're not millionaires, they didn't come from money, no one gave them money. Their desires to do something different was so burning, so deep, they made a way. The opportunity is open to you. If you want to travel around the world, you can do it. It doesn't matter if you're 20. It doesn't matter if you're 30. It doesn't matter if you're 40 or 50 or 60. And I know you're going to be like, but Glendon, I have kids. Once again, go to Man versus Debt, a blog. Here's a guy with a wife and a kid, and they, with the kiddo, traveled around the world. Stop putting limitations on yourself. Too many people in this world would do it for you. So you got your list. Everything's numbered and you're taking action. Now this is where it gets a little sticky. It gets a little tricky here. You must continue to take action with all of the bullshit that's about to pop up in your life. I'm going to explain something to you and it's going to scare you. I've experienced it enough that I know how to deal with it. Whenever you do something radically new in your life, you stir up a different level of energy. And the energy is so powerful, all types of shit starts to happen. You are like, what the fuck happened? Things just come out the blue. Because understand, you are fundamentally changing your energy. And it's a big shift. It's like when you do a detox and you start breaking out and you get pimples because your body is purifying. When you do these energy shifts and energy changes, expect chaos. Expect crazy shit because it's coming. And it's a good thing. Why is it a good thing? It's a sign that you're moving in the right direction. It's a sign that you're being effective because the energy is just like the energy is unfocused. And it's a lot of energy because it's the more shit that happens in your life, the more dormant you have been. Because the energy has always been there and it's just been building and it's been building and it's been building and it's waiting for an opportunity to come out. And when it does, it's like that dog that's been caged up in the house all day, and then you open up the door and the dog is so glad to see you and it's and it just loses its freaking mind, and it takes a moment for it to calm down. When this happens, a lot of people think erroneously that they should stop doing what they're doing. They're correct that it will calm down, but they're wrong for the reasons that it calms down. You actually seal the energy back up. You want it to come out. You want it to be strong because it's going to improve your life. But this is something that happened. I recently made some changes in my business. And oh my God, the stuff that started happening. It was just like, you got to be kidding me. But I knew what was happening, and I just grabbed the rails of life, and I just held on, and I rocked and rolled. And then one day it just stopped. It was just like, cool. Now we can, hey, because it's rough. It's rough. And I mean, you have to smile. You have to smile. But this is part of the process of you growing and becoming a better person and developing that abundant mindset, because you're going through a fundamental shift in your spirit. That is where this energy is coming from. And it's scary. And you'll feel it. You might not be able to sleep. You may lose weight. You may go through all kinds of things. And you're thinking that you are damned when you are blessed. Because just like when your body goes through that detox, you're going through an energy detox. And you're cleaning up a lot of petrified energy. Because that stagnant stuff, it doesn't really, it's comfortable. Let's just keep it real. That stagnant energy is comfortable. It's been sitting there for months, years, or in some cases, decades. And it doesn't want to leave because it likes being where it is. And then when you lift the lid to this new energy for the abundant mindset, it's like it fights, because chaos and apathy, believe it or not, are very closely related. Because see, the chaos comes from the new energy. The apathy is just like, I'm chilling. I like this. I'm not really happy, but I'm comfortable. And then the chaos comes up because this new energy is like, hey, we need to make some changes. We need to get in your body and do this. And the old stagnant, stanky energy is like, I don't want to leave. And then it starts to fight. And it's a lot of change. And for some people, it's too much, because you feel like the devil. And it's not the devil, and it's not God, because understand, we're on this different plane. We have our own level of energy. So ride that rough period. It can be a few days. It can be a few months. And for some people who have been stagnant for years, it could be years, because you were shifting all of that dirty, old, stank energy for new, fresh energy. And it's going to be a trip, but it's worth it. I went through 3 years of it when I transitioned from an employee to a business owner. I was a young kid. I was going through things emotionally. I had separated from the wife, was living on the street in an important house. There was this 3-year period that I actually felt damned. When I tell you, it's like, you got to be kidding me. But I didn't understand universal law. I didn't understand the concepts of true hustling. At times, I would use the laws, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was like a kid with a gun. That's how important, that's how strong this stuff is. And when I started to harness, and when I started to study, and when I started to realize what I was doing, it clicked. Because the people that you meet in your life on this journey will help you go from a poverty mindset to an abundant mindset. And part of that is learning how to control your thoughts, learning how to control your emotions, learning when to go off on someone, and learning when to hold back. All of that is part of this journey of life. But you've got that stuff together. You know what you want to do. You're active, and you have to consistently maintain that energy. You have to keep putting forth that effort, because you can change your life within a matter of weeks if you have the courage to stick with it. Because in the beginning, when we do these new undertakings as humans, it's like, yeah, we're doing it. We're in the gym. We're on the new diet. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of enthusiasm. And then it starts to peter out, and it starts to drop off, because you're not getting the results that you want as fast as you want. And it's disheartening. That is the make it or break it point for you. Understand, and someone told me this many, many years ago, When you start a business, frequently you buy capacity in advance of needing that capacity, and you're paying full boat price for the capacity before you need it, but you can't get to that point where you will need it before you buy it, if that makes sense to you. You have to have it before you can fill it up, to be more simple. If you want to get a glass of water, you must get the empty glass first, hold it, and pour the water into it. That's the same with the business. That's the same with relationships. That's the same with building up money. You have to put some skin in the game. And a lot of people don't want to put that skin in the game. But another part of the poverty mindset is it leads you to look at those with the abundant mindset as if they are crazy, if they are some kind of alien from a different planet. Because understand, in each and every one of us, there's a high degree of power. And many people have hit the off switch due to fear. You have thoughts, you have abilities, you have things that are going on in you, and you start to use them and they scare you. Because you just like, can I handle this? Can I handle this? Because success demands change. There is no way in the world that you are going to become successful and remain the same person that you are. That is one of the biggest myths in the world, and it's one of the ugliest narratives. Well, you know, I was born poor and I went to university and I played ball and now I'm a janillionaire and I'm just like you. No, the fuck you're not. When you reach a certain level of success, you are no longer the person you used to be. It's not a bad thing. People will have you to believe it and they will say that you've changed. It's true. You've changed and they've remained the same. There are some people with enough positive and beautiful energy that you can move and become this big success, and your friendship will remain intact because they're looking at you and they're sending you beauty, they're sending you love, and they're just happy for you. When they see how successful that you are, they become excited because they truly love you. And that relationship is easy to maintain because when you see them and you feel that love, you're glad that it's just a beautiful thing. But there are other people that will see your trajectory to new heights and they will turn the love button off. And they will replace it with jealousy, hate, duplicity. And sometimes it's not intentional. They don't even know why they're doing it. They just know that there's something about you that has turned the love off. And what it is they don't love themselves. Because when you become successful of your own merit, when you have built something and you see someone else doing something, you become happy because you understand. That's the abundant mindset. Recently, I went to visit some guys that I used to work for. I was actually their first employee. They have built this wonderful business. These guys started working in this little mini warehouse, maybe 3,000 square feet, maybe 2,500 square feet. The offices were like these little dank offices. Now they have this beautiful showroom that would look great in Architectural Digest, or it can be in Modern Design. It is fly, it is sweet. And I just told Bill, I said, dude, congratulations. I mean, I was so happy for them. You know, and Bill is a really humble guy, but to go from what they started with to what they have now is a beautiful journey. But when you are making that same kind of journey and you see people doing it, you're happy for them because you understand there's enough for everyone. Here on YouTube, there's a group of people that feel that there's not enough for everyone. So they feel that they must knock people off so that they can rise. That is the sign of the poverty mindset. That is the sign of limited intellect. That is the sign of people who don't understand universal law. You don't have to knock someone off to rise. In fact, as you rise, you want to bring as many people with you as you can if they're worthy of the journey. Everyone can't make that journey because they're not worthy. They haven't done the work. They're not prepared. They don't even know what the fuck they want out of life, and they are a distraction. But there's a group of people, they know what they want. They're hungry and they're ready, because don't be afraid to change your circle of friends. A lot of people want to remain loyal to people who are not loyal to them. I recently had another friend who went through this, and we talked about it over lunch. When I met her, and I just couldn't understand why she and this other chick were friends. But I'm not one to piss on someone's parade with my observations. No one asked my opinion in the situation. I did not give my opinion in the situation. But as we were having lunch, and she's like, yeah, a lot of people's like, her boyfriend said, I just don't know why you were friends. And I just raised my hand. I never understood it either. But essentially, this girl became Brutus to her Caesar. And my friend supported this girl to the point, my friend owns a business. And if it wasn't for my friend, this girl would have been homeless on the street, her and her son, homeless. And because of her jealousy, that poverty mindset, that inability to see beyond one's own small circumstances, allowed this girl to deeply wound my friend, who did nothing but loved her and supported her. My friend is the epitome of the abundant mindset. Great family, great relationships, good person. And frequently you draw people to you because they know that you have that abundance, but they're jealous of it. They can't understand it. They feel that they are smarter than you. They feel that they should have what you have, but they have not gone on your journey, and they refuse to start one of their own. They want to leapfrog past all of the work, effort, introspection, and life experiences to get where you are. And if it doesn't happen, then they are mad. They're upset. They feel cheated. They feel that life has bamboozled them or led them astray. And the reality is, they did it to themselves. That is the poverty mindset. It is one of contraction, lack, limited scope, and no introspection. Because once you understand universal law, once you understand that you can have any and everything you want if you're willing to put forth the effort and do the work, your world will change. You will become a different person. You could be living in a shack right now, but because you have the abundant mindset, you know that that shack is a temporary situation. You can smile in that shack as the roof leaks because you know it's a temporary situation. But when you have the poverty mindset, that shack is your reality. It's your everything. You become despondent. You become dark and gloomy, and you bring that to the doorstep of everyone that you meet because you are a scared little bitch. You refuse to overcome your fears, so you want to project them onto other people. You want to make those fears the fears of other people because misery does like company. You want your fear to commiserate with their fear. And then you can sit in your limited mindset. You can sit into your poverty mindset and commiserate and share your pain and never grow and never become bigger than you are. And then blame the world for your failure. There are so many people that are living that life, and it's sad and it's scary. So these are people that you should avoid. These are people that you can help if they are willing to make a change. But if they want to stay in the poverty mindset, understand at some point they will wound you, hurt you, or even try to kill you. And I know that sounds very serious because so many people were murdered not by strangers, but by people that purported to love them. Ask any cop, go to your local police department and ask, in terms of murder, 9 times out of 10, who do they look at? And it's very rarely a stranger. It's people they know. That is how powerful jealousy is. So, as you work on yourself, as you build your abundant mindset, know it's a mental choice to be successful or to be a failure. It starts mentally. It may start as a seed in your mind weeks, months, or years before the manifestation of those desires become reality. But mark my words, if you build those seeds and you nurture them, you put water on them, and you make sure that they're healthy, one day they will bear fruit. All right. I think that's enough for you. This is Glendon with the American Hustler Podcast. Hopefully you got something out of this that will move you along where you can have a better day, a better life, a better relationship with those that you love. And with that, I'll see you on the good side.